Oh, wow. She's going to come right up to the car. Look how relaxed she is. Is it no. Are you? It does look very much like Thandi. It might be. I haven't seen Shadow for a very long time either. So I'm not exactly sure, but quite happy to squeeze right past the car. It does look like Thandi, but I haven't seen these cats for such a long time either. So I might make a mistake.
Yeah, she's right behind the
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
She's now paused.
Yeah.
Let me go. I'm going to go forward. Hope there's no stump on that side. How cool is this? What a day. Oh, no. Let me quickly just turn around here. That's amazing. All in one. Yeah. So I can still remember how to track it. I can still remember how to do all sorts of things. It's amazing. There we go. There's Hosanna up top there. James, you said perhaps it was Thandi's kill. Maybe. It could quite have well been. However, I do remember seeing male leopard tracks come in on Leadwood and then they popped out again. And I'm pretty sure I saw yesterday afternoon male leopard tracks going up and down in this area too on my way to Chitwa. But we weren't able to find anything. So I don't know. He could also have been here because Thandi doesn't look very fat. But Hosanna has got a big bulging belly. I can't take away Hosanna's credit. Okay, Kurs, can you tell, will you please tell Scotty that he can come to Hosanna just because I'm going to keep up with Thandi because he's not here. Hosanna's in the tree. He'll see my vehicle tracks literally from Weaver's Nest onto Elephant's Carcass on the southern side of the road. He'll get the visual. We're going to try and stick with this girl because we're going to lose Thandi otherwise. So I'll take the mobile sighting. Right, we're going in again. And if stations, just a quick update. We've got Thandi and Hosanna. Scott's going to be relocating on Hosanna, and I think Taxon's also heading that way. Just on Elephant Carcass, on the southern side of the road. If you come from Weaver's Nest, it's not far. I'm following Thandi. She's gone off Elephant Carcass, moving in a easterly direction now. So I'm going to go back slightly. Yeah, I can see her. There she goes. All the birds are alarming now. Who was asking about if you can be allergic to cats? Possibly. That wasn't even a fake sneeze this time. I'll watch her again. Hi, big girl. There we go. How cool is that? Mario, you said we're picking up from last night where we left the leopard extravaganza. We're very lucky there. That was very cool. Thandi, can you please just tell us what happened? Was that your kill? And did Fatso in the tree steal it from you? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Hassan is going to try and take these opportunities when he can. But like I said, there were male leopard tracks around here. And Hassan is a great hunter. I mean, he's been catching all sorts of things. And he's had a couple of meals, I think, stolen away from him by Tingana. Off Thandi goes. Here, all the testiculars all shouting at her now. They're very unhappy with her presence. Tail in the air. Okay, let's go. This is the fun part. Now, my favorite bit about this is that Faith has never been on an off-roading mission after leopards. Well, be swatted in the face by many branches. Right, Steve is on a birding mission this morning. He's taken over from Scott. Scott's on his way to Hosanna, but Steve has got one of the prettier birds in the bush. We are worried that we're going to lose her because she's just given us a serious run around. I have not off-roaded like we are doing at the moment for a very long time. She's stopped. She's just smelling something. She's scent marking as she goes along too. I'm hoping we've chosen the right path here and she's going to come straight down towards us. Good girl. Well, she is slinking back and forth. I think she's looking for something to eat. So maybe even if she can just catch something like a little scrub hare or a daker would be ideal. That would be nice for the two of them. Or perhaps even something a bit larger, an impala. My goodness, I do apologize. I cannot stop sneezing this morning. The allergies. It must be all the grass seeds that are around at the moment. But I'm still astounded that we've managed to see 2 leopards. I was getting a bit worried, I must be honest. I thought, oh, we're not going to see anything today. And then look, surprise, here she comes. She's going to pop out. She might just go behind the car, but she's just in there. I can see her moving. And that camouflage is incredible. I don't know where I am, Kirsten, and I don't know if Taxon is going to find me, because she's about to cross a drainage. I think she's heading back towards Mamba Road. So yeah, I'm in the middle of a massive block, and I'm going to try and stick with her, but there's no point coming in from my angle, because we're going to hit a huge drainage, just trying to help the other guides get in here. But I don't really know how to explain where I am, because it is very thick. I'm going to have to turn on my privacy, turn my location settings on very quickly, and I'll have a look on a map. These guys can be just a little bit patient. Goodness. Right, let me try to turn around again quickly. I think we should be able to get a view of her now. Here she is. So we'll just sit here. I'm going to quickly just look exactly where I am on the map. See if I can get hold of stations. I'm still following Thandi through the thicket. We're basically between Elephant Carcass and Twin Dams. She looks like she's making her way towards Twin Dams, but we're in Makulu Flatin at the moment. So I can definitely have some more vehicles joining me if you'd like. Yeah, it's a huge area. I'm not interested. So I just want to turn the radio right down, because otherwise everybody keeps asking for directions. But unfortunately, it's going to be a very hard sighting to actually find, because we're in a huge block. And she's walking straight. She's going slowly towards Twin Dams, but we've got a couple of drainage lines to get to before we even get there. Now, Annie, you've asked this morning, if Hosanna were to have found Thandi's cub, would he kill it? I don't think so. I feel like he's still quite young. I mean, he's only just turned 2. He's 2 and a bit now. So I don't think so. I really feel like he still acts like a youngster, even though, of course, he's catching big things now. I don't think he's going to have that natural instinct right away. So we'll see, because he still goes around Tingana, and he obviously hasn't had too much of a bad experience with a big male leopard before, that he's not terrified of them. So no, I don't think he would kill it. He'd probably be intrigued by it. But again, I don't know. It's hard to say. We can only really guess. Okay, off we go again. See if we can find her. I hope she does take us to her cub. That would be ideal. It would be really nice, but we're still quite a way off. We'll try and keep up with her for most of the morning. Oh, hang on, there's a road here. Tax, she's popping out, I think, on Twin Dams Road. Hang on, stand by. Oh, I don't actually know. No, it is a road. It is Twin Dams. Where is she now? She's on here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Maybe 50 meters from where I am, Scott. I've just passed it. Sorry, everybody. I do know I'm live. I'm just trying to figure out where Thandi's gone and talk on the radio. You see her? 11 o'clock. Scott, can you reverse maybe another 50 meters? She's, I don't know if you can see, there's a big, not a massive leadwood, but there's a rather large leadwood on the southwestern bank from where you are. So just trying to help Scott. Okay, we'll stay here because Seb's got her. Scott's come to join us, and he's actually gone down into the Mulwati. So what will happen, and that helps us a lot, because we can keep an eye of her up here and watch where she goes. She's stalking something. Has she spotted something? She's standing very, very still. See how she's sitting down slightly? Scott, I think she's maybe spotted something. She's sort of static in the pounce position at the moment. So we're just watching. But she's quite far away from us, so that's actually really good. That's what we want. We don't want to be sitting on top of her. if she has spotted something, she has made a kill. If she's going to make a kill. But she looks very, very focused. And barely moving. Now, it is so thick here. It is so dense. It's a bit difficult to tell where she is and how we're going to get there. Because all I can see is lots of fallen stumps on the ground. We don't want to be hitting one of those. That'll be a disaster. But a lot of the animals, like bushbuck and duiker and steenbok, do hang around on the edges of drainage lines. But unfortunately, the big cats are not the most successful when it comes to hunting. They do give it a good bash when they can. And it can take multiple attempts before they actually do something. But I don't know, she could have just stopped and paused. Maybe she was just listening. She does look like she's moving her feet quite slowly. I don't know if Scott can see something from where he is. Maybe in the Mulwati, because he's down below us. Could also be lots of Inyana around. Maybe there's just a little scrub here or something. But it's quite hard to tell. I mean, all this dense foliage is not great for us, and all the tall grass. It almost looks like she's looking down on the ground. Do you think so, Seb?
She's looking down.
She's just looking down. It doesn't look like she's maybe spotted something so far away. Maybe it's something really small. Maybe it is a scrub hare. I can hear Scott. He's down below us. Okay, cool. So they are having a little look around. Now we have to play the patience game. But again, I can't see anything. It's going to be quite difficult to try and get in there. Just trying to see where there aren't any stumps. I'm obviously not going to move now, though. And that's something important to remember, is once an animal does start stalking, you've got to limit your movements. You actually shouldn't be moving at all. You've got to sit nice and still, nice and quiet. Obviously, we can talk. They are used to us talking, but you're not going to be shouting out or anything like that. And you most certainly don't want any vehicles coming in crashing, because they might give whatever she's looking at a fright, and it might run away. And that's the hardest thing to do as a guide, is to try and come in as slowly and as quietly as you can, because that is honestly the last thing that we want to happen. But accidents do happen. We do make mistakes every now and then, but we learn from them. But now she's moving her body so slowly. And no birds around. There are a few. Sounds like some crested francolins that are calling, but not an alarm call. No testiculars up on top, shouting. Oh no, someone has spotted her now. As I said that, I may have jinxed her. But they will be in here feeding all these ground-dwelling birds. There's lots of grass seeds. That's what they'll be eating at the moment. It's tough for a predator. Now, as we sit and we wait for the leopard to make her next move, Dale, you've asked, is the primary way for a leopard to kill its prey suffocation? Yes, that's the main way. Unfortunately, they don't have as powerful of a bite force as a lion does. So sometimes if it's small prey, I mean, a lion just needs to bite down on the back of its neck and can literally crush the vertebrae and kill it like that. The same thing would go for if this leopard were to catch a scrub hare. Even something as small as a steenbok, they would be able to, the best way, of course, is to suffocate them so they can't distress. But if it's small enough, the most efficient way would be to just sort of break their necks, essentially. And a leopard, a lion, any of the predators want to kill their prey as quickly as possible, because the longer it stays alive, you can imagine, the prey will be fighting for its life to get away. And that could mean a horn, could essentially stab a leopard or a lion, a tusk, claws, if it's, I mean, I wouldn't like to be scratched in the face by a scrub hare. I think that they could still hurt. So, especially if they're flailing around trying to get away. Cool. Well, apparently we're going to be doing a action broadcast. We'll see how this goes. I'm just going to sit quietly now. Good morning, everybody, and of course, welcome to the Sabi Sand in South Africa, the land of the leopards, where that's exactly what we've got, hiding in the grass. As we pull away, it becomes quite difficult to even notice that there's a leopard there. My name is Tayla, and on camera with me is Sebastian. And we're very, very excited this morning. This is a leopard by the name of Thandi, and she's a well-known leopard in this area, and she's got a very young cub. Now, she's in a position that makes me think that she's spotted something. The way that her entire body is tensed up. She looks like she's going to get ready to pounce at any moment, but I don't know what she's looking at. We've got Scott Dyson down in the Mulwati, which is a dry riverbed. He's managed to drive down in that in hope that if she does go chasing or running down that way, he'll be able to pick her up, because it is very, very thick here, and it's very, very difficult for us to off-road around here. Now, even though it's not the greatest view, we're not going to go any closer than this. And for those of you who have only just joined us for the first time for one of these specials, it'll be great to have chats to you. You can actually ask me any questions, because this is a live and interactive show. All you have to do is comment away, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. Matt, you've said that these videos are the best, and they are, because they're sort of just in the moment, spur of the moment, if you will. We never know when they're going to happen, which is what is the most exciting. Hopefully we'll have some serious action happening. But the thing with leopards and hunting is that they need to get right underneath their prey in order to have the best chance of springing up into the air and pouncing down onto whatever may be lurking in the grass or the bushes. And for her to do that, she needs to be patient. So that means we have to be patient too. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes a hunt can happen in 3 seconds. You blink and you open your eyes and they've caught something. Sometimes, and it's happened to me before, I've sat with a big male leopard for 3 hours and he was tensed up like this outside a warthog burrow. So, wonder what we're going to have in store for us today. She definitely needs to catch something. She's not too thin, but she needs a meal. Especially that she's got a young cub that's only a few months old, who, if she does make a kill, hopefully she'll lead us back towards it, which will be really amazing to see that bundle of fluff. I have yet to see her youngster, and I cannot wait. But it's also very, very exciting to be back in the Sabi Sand with all the leopards, and I've seen leopards every single day. We are so lucky out here. I don't know if she's seen something small that's maybe hiding away underneath a shrub, like a scrub hare. It could be a little duiker or a steenbok, which are 2 types of antelope. Maybe they're just sitting in the grass. Perhaps they had a suspicion that something was moving around, and they thought that, well, we better just sit very quietly in the tall grass. Ingrid, you're wondering if she could hear me talking? Well, I'm speaking quite softly, in fact. She can hear me talking, she can hear all the birds chirping, and she'll probably hear the wind rustling through the grass as well. So she can hear a number of different things. But me talking at this level is not going to affect her hunt. Remember, these cats have been interacting around vehicles for a very, very long time, for at least the last 30 years, if not even longer than that. And they are habituated to the vehicles and the sounds of our voices. So you can see every now and then she'll turn her ears around to listen to the other sounds that are about, because she's not the only predator on the property. She's also got to watch her back. She needs to make sure that there's not another leopard stalking up to her, or a lion, or a hyena coming in to investigate. We know hyenas are curious creatures and often tail leopards and hope that they can snatch up their kill. So me whispering like this is really not going to have an effect at all on that cat. And we are far away. We must be about 70 meters away from her, which is a really good distance. So with hunting. Oh, and Teresa, you're wondering how far away we are from Thandi. Well, like I said, about 70 meters or so, so we're quite a distance. But she's got her head tilted down. She's not looking up and in front of her. She really looks like she's looking at the base of that shrub, which is making me think that perhaps it's a scrub hare. No, a scrub hare is not going to be very much, but it's like basically an energy bar. You see that? See how her eyes are fixated down on the ground? And you're probably thinking, why doesn't she just charge on there and grab it? You won't believe how fast a scrub hare is. They can really, really move. And if she makes one mistake, that thing could shoot out of the grass and her opportunity will be ruined. There we go. You see how she's tensing again? Putting all the weight in her back legs, getting ready to shoot into the air. And for a leopard to really have any chance of catching anything, she needs to get within maybe 15 to 20 meters at least. If she can get any closer, that's great, that's better. Because if they can just jump straight up and pounce directly down onto their prey, they've got the greatest chance of holding onto it. See that? She looks like she wants to go, but she's uncertain. There's also a lot of obstacles for her there. Lots of branches with thorns and things on. Although I don't think she'll be minding too much. I think if it means that she needs to pounce on a couple of thorns, it'll be okay. Lisa, you said, could it be a snake? Maybe a python. I've seen many leopards eating pythons before. I have seen leopards eating other reptiles like water monitors and rock monitors, so it could be one of those also curled up in there. The only thing though is I have seen a couple of birds every now and then landing on the trees above her. And a bird is not a leopard's friend, unfortunately. They will alarm and alert all the other animals that speak that same language that she is around. And then whatever she's going for might be alerted to that and then actually move off in a flat panic. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being a scrub hare just trying to hide away from the heat of the day, and all of a sudden things start alarming around you, but you can't see or smell or hear anything that would point you in the direction of a leopard? It must be absolutely terrifying. But she has got a bit of a gentle breeze, which will help her too. Because if she does maybe step on a leaf and it crunches, perhaps that breeze will be just blowing strong enough to sort of rustle the leaves, rustle the grass. That maybe whatever she's looking at won't know that she is around. But you can hear all the birds all starting to wake up now. All chirping, all waking up. Sheila, you said that this is so awesome and you hope that she eats something. I do too. I also really hope so. We did have an interaction not so long ago where we heard this Franklin screaming. He was absolutely having a heart attack. So we stopped and we listened and flew from the ground up and into the tree. And they're ground-dwelling birds typically. They can fly, but they spend majority of their time on the ground. I had a little look around. And then luckily we were able to spot a leopard. But it wasn't Thandi. It was Hosanna, and he raced up a tree. And then there was also a kill in the tree. And he kept looking down and snarling. And I thought to myself, what is that? It's either going to be a hyena or another leopard. And that's when Thandi emerged from the drainage line below. So we're unsure if she already made that kill and Hosanna stole it, or if it was the other way, or if Hosanna was just defending his kill. He's another male leopard in the area. Some of you may remember Karula, who's a very famous leopard in the northern sands, but sadly she's moved on. It was her son, the last son that she had. And it's nice to know that he's still around here. And he could rock up at any moment too. Although I think he might be preoccupied with defending his Dacre kill in the tree. Come on, Thandi. You can do it. Now, being tensed up like that must be crazy. I can't imagine sitting in the squat position for that long. Could any of you? I'd be exhausted. I'd be shaking. My whole body would be very uncomfortable. So it just goes to show how incredibly strong these animals are, how fit they are. To be able to hold that position for such a long time. I mean, she's barely shuffled her feet around. Willie, you feeling optimistic? You've said any day now. I'm also hoping so. I also hope that it is going to happen sooner rather than later. Every now and then she just looks like she wants to go, and then she rethinks. She goes, no, not yet. And she's not a young leopard either. She's an older girl, so she's got a lot of experience on her side. Whereas if it was a young leopard, you know, they might want to jump and pounce too early. It looks like she's reshuffling again, though. She's doing the wiggle, where she swishes her hips from side to side, shuffling her hindquarters in the best position. Here we go again. Are you backing up, or are you going to pounce? She looks like she wants to pounce. Girl, make your move. Here we go. There she goes. What has she got? She's chasing after something. Okay, right, let's go. Now that she's moved, we can also... I need to watch out for stumps, though. She's just gone chasing all three. I think it may have been a scrub hare. Nah, unsuccessful, I'm afraid. Let me get one view of her. There she goes. Sadly, Thandi, my dear, you did not win. And out of that frustration, lifting her tail, marking her territory up against this apple leaf tree. But what a great moment. An attempt. That's just one of those things. This is typically what you do see of a leopard. But I hope you did enjoy that, and you can continue watching Safari Live. All you've got to do is Google it, and we're going to continue following Thandi around. Hopefully she'll make another attempt. But for myself and Sebastian, it's been great, and we hope to hear from you all soon. Right, let's go back across to Scott. He's in the Mulwati, and he's got Thandi again.
Well, yes, we've been sitting, waiting patiently here. What exciting stuff with Tayla. And it looks like Thandi's found something she'd like to roll in. I'm guessing some poop. Not too sure which animal. And what an exciting morning. Now, Hosanna disappeared into an impenetrably thick area where we actually couldn't see him. So we decided to rather come and give Tayla a hand here, and we just want to make sure that Tayla keeps a close eye on Thandi until she hopefully takes her all the way back to the den. Tayla's yet to see the cubs, so I'm hoping that she gets lucky this morning. I just thought I'd come in and give a hand where I could, just to keep an eye on old Thandi. Now, after that long period of kind of sitting posed and ready to pounce, her muscles must be very tired. You can imagine just holding that position for, geez, what was it, close on 10 minutes, maybe even a little bit more than that. And you can see she's just kind of gaining her breath, regaining her breath. And I'm sure it's not going to be long before she gets back up and on the move. Now, I've been following tracks. Let me see if I can reposition ever so slightly. I've been following tracks of a female leopard, in all likelihood this lady over here, and she's moved a huge distance over the night, and I'm guessing what her plan has been is to try and explore a lot of the areas where she hasn't been moving that much. I mean, it's just guessing that she hasn't been here, just to make sure she knows what's going on with the Hukumuri male, who I'm certain she knows is pushing into this territory and is a threat to her cub. So I think she's been doing a little bit of a perimeter check. She went all the way to kind of, well, came along Shibam Road, which is quite far west, and I'm guessing after a long night out, she's going to want to go back and check in with the cub. Del, you would like to know what is the purpose of Thandi scent marking? Well, female leopards will compete with other female leopards for territories and male leopards with other male leopards. So she's making sure the other ladies know that this is her patch. And the same goes for lion. Male lions will compete with other male lions, and prides of females will compete with other prides of females. So each gender has their own property to look after. The females and prides of lion are ordinarily much smaller territories than the males. I'm not too sure where Taylor's gone, but I hope she hasn't left the sighting, because I just came here to help keep an eye on things. And also, just the fact that we had this lady on the move was a good opportunity to just double team and make sure we don't miss any action. I mean, that hunt, had our vehicle been in a slightly better positioned area, we may have been able to assist capturing the chase. Often it's difficult for one vehicle to get all the action. Okay, good. Here comes Taylor. And Taylor, it looks like she's heading up towards you there. Which is absolutely perfect. So I'd suggest hopping onto Taylor's vehicle, because that's where you're going to be getting the best views shortly. So, over to Taylor's vehicle.
She's just behind us. You can see her. She just squeezed on as I came around the corner. Thanks, Scotty. Just shouting to Scott, thank you very much. Off he goes. I hope Scott's going to hang around. It could be quite nice, because there's no one else in the sighting with us. So if Scott's happy, Curse, I mean, we should just bounce back and forth, because I think we might lose her in this thicket. But of course it is up to Scotty D. So sorry about the aerial, everybody. You can just see it. But Thandi has decided she's going to have a quick scratch there. And I don't know where she's going to go from now. Do you want me to try reposition a bit for you? Let me do that. I'm probably testing Seb's arms. Let's go. Oh, wait, hang on. And you maybe need to do that. I don't know why I make those sounds when I do things. So strange. There we go. Now she's climbing up. Oh, no. Thandi. Oh, please come back. Please don't go up there. There we go. Maybe she's going to have a nice scratch on the tree. Oh, listen to the sounds. So she's sharpening her claws now, as you can see. That's what leopards like to do. It's very important. We were talking about this yesterday, how they're strengthening the tendons, they're getting rid of the old nail sheets, all of these things. I think Scott's trying to make his way in there, which will be great. There she goes. She's done now. Behind the big tree, scent marking. And up the bank she goes. Let's see if Scotty D's got a view of her. I think I can see. I think it is Scott. Yes, that's up top there. I don't know. Have I pulled my earpiece out? Kirsten, are you still there? Ah, very good. Let's go back into Scott's car to see Thandi again.
So, fortunately, I've followed her through this area before, and we know. Well, I mean, I'm guessing she is going to head back towards the cub, so it's making our life easy looping ahead. And I know where Taylor was, it would have been tricky or near impossible to follow her up here. But it's great that we're working as a team here to make sure we don't lose her. She's just scent marked, just to let you know, for what it's worth. It was very thick where she was there, so we couldn't see that. But she just scent marked against a big leadwood tree. And I wonder what it is she tried to pounce on. I'm not sure if you guys got a view. Shame, no luck. And I also can't stop thinking about the scenario between her and Hosanna. What exactly happened there? Did he steal her kill, or did she just opportunistically go and check that area out when she heard the dyker squealing when he killed it? Tricky to know. Okay. Chris, you can just let Tayla know that she is kind of heading along the edge of the riverbank, so Tayla might get some visuals from down in the Mulwati. She's closer to the riverbed than she is to where I am here. I told Tayla to keep an eye out above her there. Tammy, you'd like to know when leopard scent mark, if the other cats know whether it's male or female. And yes, they certainly will be able to tell whether it's the scent of a male or a female. We're going to get some wonderful views here. And yes, they most certainly can. And not only can they tell if it's male or female, they'll be able to tell which female or male. Oh, look at this beautiful sunlight. She's going to come straight past the vehicle. So close. Morning, Thandi. And sadly, where Tayla is now, she's now heading away from the riverbed. So I would suggest that Tayla heads up towards Battalieu Road. It seems like she's heading in that direction. So yeah, Tammy, they can tell definitely whether it's male or female, who it is, whether they're coming into season or not. The animals can read a huge deal into the scent marks. And something else that's really interesting, Tammy, is that a leopard scent mark actually smells like buttered popcorn. It's the most wonderful, wonderful smell. Quite weird, actually, when you're driving through the bush and next thing you know, there's a pungent aroma of buttered popcorn in your nostrils, and it's from a leopard's peeing. Okay. So she's just disappeared down a little kind of eroded gully, and it'll take me probably a couple of minutes to get into a good spot, and I'll need to concentrate to keep up with this. So we're going to send you back to our friend Steve for a quick update on how he's getting along. It's incredibly thick here. And it was thanks to some rattling cisticolas, some small birds that started alarming when she walked past that helped us get a good grip of where she was. And Tayla and I are just trying to work out the best way for Tayla to get back into the sighting here. I've got a feeling that this leopard's not going to pop back out onto a road until she gets back to her cub. I think she's just going to head straight through this block between Mumba Road and Battalieu Road, two roads that the cub is kind of in the middle of. And we just need to be very careful here that we don't lose her, because you can see, I mean, the grass is so long. I've just got a glimpse of her tail. And thankfully, Senzo's got really good eyes, so he's been helping me a huge deal in keeping an eye on her. Last saw her at about 9 o'clock, Sens. Yeah, okay, cool. Shannon, you'd like to know if Thandi is still nursing her cub, and yes, she is indeed. We saw the cub having a little bit of a suckle yesterday morning. Not too much, though. But I guess that's possibly because the cub had a decent meaty meal. I'm fairly certain that had come from a kill. And maybe that's why Mom thought the cub didn't need too much milk. Just a theory. And of course, I mean, the cub is also growing up and will require less and less milk and more meat as time goes on. Sure. This is some seriously long vegetation, but things are going well for now. I just revved the engine there to give Tayla an idea of where we are. Are you getting that, Tayla? Copy, very good. So yeah, that's just a technique that we use to let other guides know where exactly we are so that they can plan their attack. Watch your heads, everybody. thankfully it appears to be kind of opening up a little bit for the time being. So we should get you some good views shortly. I think she's coming straight towards us. Where's she going to poke her nose out? She was just perched up on this termite mound directly to our left. So here she is in front at 10 or 11 cents. There we go. Well done. Perfect conditions for leopards to sneak up on their prey, this nice long grass. And what has got her attention? She seems like she could be sneaking quite stealthily. She is indeed. What have you caught wind of? What do you know? And I think we should definitely try and welcome on board any new viewers. So we'll keep quiet for a second just before I do that, because she's definitely caught wind of something. And I'm guessing she spotted it using that little termite mound that you may have got a glimpse of earlier as a vantage point in this long grass. It would have been a perfect way to get a good view of something. What have you seen, Thandi? Okay, I'm just going to keep quiet now and welcome on board some more people. Hello everyone, and welcome on board this live safari coming to you from South Africa. This female leopard is called Thandi. She's got a young cub that she's raising at the moment, and she's detected something in the grass up ahead of you. You can see she's listening very intently. My name's Scott, and it's a great pleasure to welcome you on board. Please send through as many questions and comments as you can. Now, we did do an unscheduled broadcast with this female leopard a little bit earlier, and there you can see she's slinking through the grass very quietly. And that was with Tayla, so don't be confused. I was just hanging around nearby Tayla because we knew she was heading into a very thick area where it would have been difficult for just one vehicle to keep an eye on her. So Tayla is also kind of nearby. She's just trying to get back into the vicinity after doing a big loop around. So the two of us have been working as a team. Now I've got no idea what it is that she's detected up ahead there. But she definitely is extremely focused, and there must be something that she wants to pounce on. Ladybird, you've just mentioned how elegant this leopardess is, and yes, she certainly is. And one of the best times to showcase their elegance and the way they can move their bodies is now, when they are stalking their prey, placing their back foot exactly where their front foot had already been in the grass to try and limit the noise they make. Incredible stuff. Look at this concentration. She's not taking any chances here. I'm scanning around wildly, trying desperately to work out what it is that she's seen. But there must be something here, maybe a small antelope like a duiker or a steenbok. Margaret, I'm glad that you think that this is amazing. I couldn't agree more. It's not very often that we get to see the predators doing their business. Now, I'm just going to reposition the vehicle ever so slightly to try and get an idea of what's going on. Okay, no, we can see it there. There's a steenbok right over there. Sends at about 2 o'clock. There we go. So it's the small antelope that the leopard has miraculously detected. It just lay down in the grass over there. And how on earth did you tell that there was a steenbok there, Thandi? You can see her now just inching forward. And she's got quite a way to go still. A leopard needs to be about 5 meters away from their prey before they pounce. And that's definitely more than that at the moment, as Senzo's just showed you. The steenbok somewhere exactly in that spot over there, and you can just see it twitching its ears. But Thandi still has a long way to go. Let's keep an eye on Thandi though, and watch her delicately stalk her way through this long grass. How epic is this, everyone? Sheldon, you didn't believe that this was really live, or couldn't believe it, and yes, it is. The fact that I am saying your name and getting back to you should confirm that. It's a great pleasure to have you on board these live safaris, and it's important that you and any other newcomers know that we do about 6 hours of broadcasts every day, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. It's not just these unscheduled broadcasts, so if you'd like to continue following on the safari after this action unfolds, you can just Google Safari Live. How epic is this? Slinking her way through the grass. Now, I'm guessing she's about 10 meters away. She needs to half that distance before she pounces. And Sheldon, thanks for getting back to us. I'm glad that you think this is awesome. And spread the word. The more people that think this is awesome, the more places we can take you guys on safari. There we go, another good view of Thandi very quietly slinking through this long grass. This is absolutely fascinating. I'm still spellbounded by the fact that she actually managed to detect that there was steenbok. We're much more elevated than her, and Senzo's camera is probably about 1.5 meters off the ground. She's less than 1 meter off the ground, so she doesn't have nearly as good of a vantage point as the camera that's spying on her now. And it just shows you how incredible their senses are. Okay, I would say she's about 8 meters now. Still a bit far to pounce, but it looks like she could be thinking about it, so be ready for anything. If you blink, you'll miss... Oh, the steenbok stood up now. Let's take a quick look at it. Sorry, Senzo was on the steenbok there. It's shaking its head. It's got no idea that she's there. And what may happen here is that the leopard may decide to stay put and wait for this unsuspecting steenbok to possibly move towards it, but the steenbok just lay down again. It seems like the little antelope's being bothered by flies. It keeps shaking its head. And those are good prospects for the leopard, because every time the steenbok shakes its head, it loses its ability to hear anything sneaking up on it. So these flies are doing a great job in assisting muffle the approach of this leopard. Dennis, I'm very happy to hear that you've stopped everything you're doing to watch this. It is absolutely fascinating, and the fact that we are bringing this to you 100% live from the Sabi Sands in South Africa is absolutely golden. It's 8 a.m. here. All of you guys will be sitting watching at different times of the year and different weather seasons. We're here in our summer. It's quite a muggy, steamy morning here. Deanna, you just mentioned that this could turn into a gory sighting fairly quickly. You're 100% correct. If in fact she does latch onto this little steenbok, of course she'll need to kill it first, and then she'll definitely start feeding on it. Now, be ready for anything. We can't move the vehicle again, and she's disappeared behind a little bit of a thicket, but where Senzo's got the camera is where we may see her slowly edging forward inch by inch. Still no sign of the steenbok. It's still lying back down in the grass. I'm sure a lot of you are quite surprised at the proximity that this leopard needs to be before it pounces, and the reason for that's quite simple. I mean, all of the prey has evolved to escape the predators, and the prey are actually better at escaping the predators than the predators are at catching the prey. So only about 10% of attempted hunts will result in a kill. So the odds are stacked heavily against the predator. She has got her work cut out for her, and on top of that, she does have in the back of her mind the knowledge that she's got a hungry, growing cub that she also needs to feed. Nita, it's not just you. Both Senzo and I are holding our breaths here, and my heart is absolutely racing. I can't reiterate enough how lucky we are to be experiencing this. It's not often that we are in the right place at the right time to see these predators doing their business. And again, do not blink, do not go anywhere. she could explode out of this bush at any second. The fact that we can't see her makes it a lot more tricky for us to predict, but I'm almost certain that she is still ever so quietly creeping up towards the steenbok. Let's have a look for the steenbok in the grass there. It's really difficult to see unless it shakes its ears. I'm sure it is still in there. I think I may have seen a little bit of an ear flick there. I'm not too sure if you guys saw that. Thought I saw a bit of a movement. But the steenbok has definitely not moved off. We would have seen that, so maybe it's just that the flies are giving it a bit less of a hard time now. That's why we can't see it. And if that is the case, I can still see the ears twitching, so the flies are still giving it a hard time. And again, that's great prospects for the leopard. Katie, you've just mentioned how incredible the leopard's camouflage is, and it really is fascinating how well it helps the master of stealth dissolve into the undergrowth when they are sneaking about their prey. They truly are the ghosts of the African wilderness. If a leopard does not want to be seen, you have got your work cut out for you. As does this steenbok that is unsuspectingly lying in the grass, flapping its ears from side to side, thinking the flies are giving it a hard time, while it could very quickly become a far bigger issue in the form of a leopard. Flat Earth, you'd like to know what the wind is doing, and that's a good point. I haven't touched on that yet, because if the steenbok is lucky enough to have the wind blowing in its direction, it will be able to smell the leopard. But the breeze is blowing very gently towards us, so it's not in the favor of the steenbok, and the leopard is therefore even more lucky now that it's also got not just the wind in the favor, but also those flies pestering the steenbok. Let's have a look again for the steenbok, because it's been there. We can see it moving its head in the grass there. So if we just keep looking there, you can see it kind of blinking its eyes, and I'm sure it won't be long before it shakes its head again. You get these tiny little biting flies here that suck the blood from us and the animals, and it's clearly getting pestered by those. I wish we could see the leopard, and I would love for nothing more than to reposition the vehicle and get you guys a good view of it. Oh, well done, Sens. You've got it. Oh no, that's a steenbok. Sorry, I thought I saw the leopard there, but it was just some grass seeds. Shows how well their camouflage can work. But no, we cannot move the vehicle. We're simply too close, and we do not want to interfere in the outcome of this hunt in any way. We try and maintain as best as possible to be spectators in this incredible arena, and not to interfere or get involved in any way, shape or form. Josh, you would like to know if this is a baby steenbok. I don't think so, but to be honest, I've had such brief views of it as and when it stood up that I cannot actually be sure. I think it is a female though. I haven't seen any horns on it, but yes, not 100% certain of its age. But what I must say to everyone else is that a steenbok is one of the dwarf antelope of southern Africa. It's not very big. It's probably only knee-high, probably only weighs about 6 or 8 kilograms. So not a big antelope at all, but the perfect snack for a leopardess like this. And it wasn't long ago that I remember seeing this very same leopard with a steenbok kill hoisted up into a tree. Well, we've had 2 incredibly nail-biting hunts, and one earlier with Tayla. Now I'm getting lucky, and I'm told a lot of you guys have got your money on the underdog, which is the predator, and I hope you guys are right. She's got a lot on her plate at the moment with this little cub that she's raising. If any of you have not ever seen the cub, I would strongly urge you guys to follow our story more closely, because she has a 4-month-old bundle of joy. She's an absolute cutie, tiny little rebellious girl, and We had an incredible sighting of the two of them yesterday, playing about, running through the grass. So that is something else that any of the new viewers should know about. The wind is still in the leopard's favor, still blowing gently towards us. This is a bit of a cameraman's nightmare because Senzo knows at any second this leopard could pounce. So Senzo, just like the leopard, is poised and ready with his camera. John, you just mentioned that for the time being it's the vegetation that's consuming the predator, and it has certainly done a great job of that. Swallowed the leopard whole. Now, like I was saying, Tayla had a nail-biting hunt earlier. The leopard was poised for about 10 minutes before she pounced, and on certain occasions I've seen leopard wait for incredibly long periods of time. If they know they're in a good spot, they'll often wait for the prey to try and possibly move towards them rather than them trying to creep up to the prey. And I've got a feeling that that's what she's doing here. She knows this is an incredible opportunity. She doesn't want to rush in there and blunder it. You can still see the odd twitch of this steenbok's ears. And the leopard will know full well that if she's patient, that the antelope will need to get up and start feeding at some point in time, and that could be through default straight towards the leopard. Stephen, you've mentioned that if Thandi stays too low in the grass, we won't see the action unfold. I can guarantee you that we couldn't be in a better position than what we are here now. The reason for that is that there's a kind of shortish grassy opening that I'm confident we'll see her pouncing through. She doesn't slither along the ground like a snake. Once she does decide to launch her attack, she'll be bounding through the grass, and it will be quite easy for us to see her, so long as we can keep up with her. She moves at incredible speed, around 28 meters in 1 second, so that gives you a good idea of why I say Senzo, who I'm teamed up with on camera today, has got his work cut out for him. I've been sitting so still, I'm getting a dead leg. So wonderful to hear that we've got people all over the world joining us. Australia, the Philippines, America, just to name a few of the countries that are all joining in on this live action. And if you have a second, I would urge you guys to phone a friend, tell them to log on and join in on the action, because this is an incredibly special opportunity. And I don't want any of you guys losing focus. You'll kick yourself if you log out now and a split second later this leopard launches its attack. So cancel your plans. Tell your boss you're sorry if you're at work. You've got busy business to attend to in Africa. I'm trying to use my binoculars to scan and have a look around and see if I got any sign of her, but no joy. Joanne, you've noticed how much the grass has grown since you were last with us, and yes, there's been an incredible spurt of growth in the last kind of 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks of February, we got some decent rain in this area, which was much needed because we have been going through a bit of a drought. You wouldn't think that now, but it's just in the last 2 weeks that the vegetation has has increased in growth. Oh, the steenbok's up now. Okay. Yeah, it looks like an adult female. Doesn't look like a youngster to me. Now, I wonder why the steenbok is standing up. Has she just had enough time snoozing? Is she planning on moving? If so, is she going to move towards the leopard? She's facing towards the leopard. So, if she continues walking in the direction she's facing, she is going to walk straight into the jaws of a leopard. Very happy to hear from Dolores, and thank you for your kind words. You said you didn't really realize how much goes into filming wildlife and getting the action, And you're right, it's incredibly tricky business, wildlife filmmaking, especially when we are doing it live. We don't have the joy of editing together stories and piecing puzzles together in a post-production room. You're getting it delivered to you raw and real as it is from the African wilderness. It doesn't get any better than this, and you'll not get a better and more true reflection of what it is like to be on safari than by joining us on these live safaris. Unless, of course, you can come out to Africa and do it for yourself in person, which, of course, I would strongly urge you to if you are in a position to do that. Is the steenbok still standing up? Yeah. Still standing up for now. Still getting bothered by the flies. Shaking its head from... Welcome, everyone. I'm hoping I'm going to get you guys into a great spot where we can see Thandi drinking. Ooh, this is going to be beautiful, everyone. She's just arrived at this little waterhole, and we've actually just caught up with her again. She's been moving through a very, very thick area, but again, thanks to Senzo's keen eye, we've got back up with her. I'm just going to keep quiet so you can hear her lapping up the water. Turtle dove calling in the background. Work harder, work harder. And I'm sure she's happy to have quenched her thirst. And we are now getting very, very close towards where she stashed her cub. So I'm guessing she is very shortly going to take us back there, maybe within the next 5 or 10 minutes. So those are some very exciting prospects, and I'm sure the cub is going to be an absolute bundle of joy as and when Mom does return. The reason being is that Mom has been away since about, 6:30 last night? So more than 12 hours is when Steve last saw her. Now, I'm guessing, I'm not 100% sure that is the case, but I'm fairly confident that that is in fact the deal. I don't think she would have had the need to go back to that cub in the course of the night. Treed, you'd like to know if leopards require a long rest period before hunting again? It all depends on the hunt, I guess, but if you take this morning, for example, I mean, she had one hunt, 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, she had another. So, not really. I mean, they don't exert themselves a great deal. They don't run long distances after their prey, like cheetah, for example. So it's just, I guess, being poised and ready for such long periods of time may make their muscles a bit tired. Now, I'm not sure if Tayla would like to make her way into the area where the cub was left so she can maybe get her first views of it. Kirsty can just let Tayla know that that is an option if she would like, because I'm confident it won't be long until she gets there, and I really am hoping that Tayla gets a chance to view Thandi and the cub. You know, there is a chance that the leopard and her cub could move off our property again. They spent quite a long time away from us, and that means we can't view them, and we definitely need to make the most of it when she is around. And it sounds like Taylor's given the thumbs up, so that's good news. If she just heads straight to the spot where I told her to, just north of the little Mamba drainage, that will be the best bet. Wonderful stuff. And then you guys are going to have one very excited Taylor McCurdy on your hands. Cool. She does have a bit of distance to cover, though, before she gets here, but I'm sure it won't take her long, or too long, to get into position. Wonderful stuff. What a morning, and our leopard luck continues. Sorry, I just bashed down that dead tree, but it was dead after all. And interestingly, especially for any of the new viewers, this off-road driving, oh jeez, there's a tiny little scrubby here. Oh, that could be in trouble. This tiny little scrub here that Senzo just spotted. You can just see its ears there. I don't think Thandi's got any idea that it's there. And even though it's just a tiny little baby... Oh, no, she stopped and looked in that direction. But is she carrying on away from it? Is this little baby bunny safe? Yes, it appears it is. Phew! That would have been a bit tricky to handle. Cute little scrub here being torn apart by Thandi. But these things do happen out here. I'm just glad it didn't happen now. Wasn't ready for that. I was ready for more kind of exciting news, like the fact that Tayla's coming to have her first view of Thandi and her little cub. Okay, very good. Well, we're going to keep trundling along here and send you across to Steve for a quick update on his morning mission.
But there's a massive termite mound over here, which would have been a really good spot to stash the cub. Also, there's lots of overhanging trees. So we're just watching and listening now for her to call for that cub. I haven't heard any chuffing yet. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Doesn't look like she's coming. Is she coming through here? Okay. Heads, everybody. There she's at the tree. There she's chuffing now. Have you got a view, Seb? There we go. I've just heard an Inyala. I think it's Inyala alarming. Or maybe a bushbuck. Can you hear that? But she doesn't seem interested whatsoever. She's looking up. Are you going to go up the tree, girl? Up she goes. What are you doing up there? Oh, she's calling from the tree. So I think she's jumped up to have a look at what's going on around her. I could see if that is... I think it's an Inyala that's barking like that. So now we're just waiting patiently. We don't want to move around too much because I don't know where that cub is, and it is so small. So we'll rather wait for the little one to come out, and then we'll make our next move. So we'll just watch her like this. How incredible. There you go, coming back down again. How graceful she is. She's chuffing every now and then. She's looking around. We'll just make sure we give her just a little bit of room. She's gone down into the drainage now, so it's a little bit difficult for us to see where she's going. We'll try and listen and hear where she's moving. Which direction she's going in. If she's maybe going back south, or if she's coming along the bottom of the drain and she's heading towards that big termite mound, perhaps. Stand up a little bit. Scott's going to go in down that way. We'll go forward. I think that'll be the best bet. Cool. Lucky for all of you today. We're going to be extending for a little bit. Hopefully see mom and cub reunite. Just going to let Scotty go in that way. Watch your heads. Because there's a gap here in the drainage line. We might be able to see it just slinking. She could have gone somewhere. And cub could have moved slightly as well. No, we're just sort of looking. We're just trying to scan and see where exactly she's gone. Sometimes it does take mom a little while to find their youngsters. It doesn't always happen immediately. Cool. That's nice. I'm glad you all enjoyed that Inyala. I think it was an Inyala. It sounded very much like an Inyala barking. Okay, Scott apparently has a view So we'll take his spot now. I just wanted to see if she was going to come through here, because it would have been so nice if she did slink down below us. We would have had the most perfect spot. So let's go back. Right. Let's go see if Scott's got a view of Thandi.
Well, just the odd glimpse of them. They're moving up and down in this little riverbed. And the cub is still here. I've just got a very brief glimpse of it. I'm not too sure where it is exactly for the time being. But it is safe and sound. There we go. There it is, a bit of a glimpse there. And what I'm going to try and do now is make space, and then Tayla can slip into this spot here and try and get a view. Wonderful stuff, guys. Yeah, they're both just down here, Tayla. So slide in. Okay, lovely, guys. Well, like I said, I'm going to make space for Tayla. I'm very excited for her to see it. I hope she does. It's really thick in there. So we're going to send you across to her as she negotiates her way into this little spot.
All right, that's exactly what we are going to do. I just wanted to make sure that Scotty managed to get out okay, because it's quite thick in here. We're going to try and squeeze through some trees and go this way. Coming through. This is one of those. I don't want to make too much noise, so I'm going to be trying as quiet as I can. Let me know when you can see them, Seb, because you've got a nice view down. Can you see them? I don't know. Scotty was looking down in here. Just to the left, says Kirsten. We're just trying to have a look. I can't see anything. I'm actually sitting up trying to spot. Huh. They might have just had a different angle that they could have seen them. No, I don't see anything. It's very quiet here. Can you see them, Faith? Maybe I can't see anything, but I'm a lot lower than everybody. So, Faith, can you maybe try point it out to Seb? At the base of this big tree here? We're just trying to find it, everybody. Sorry about that. I'm looking. Faith is trying to guide me in. You can still see the tail. Oh, no, that's a log. Oh, okay, I see where. Okay, she's actually in the drainage line. So I'm going to go forward. Yeah, you won't be able to see. Sorry, everybody, we're trying to figure this all out. You got it. A little bit to the right of that. I think, there you go, you got it. Actually, you got it. You're on her. Believe it or not, everybody, there's a leopard. There's the spot. There's a polyrhynchus ant as well, moving on the grass. That's what we've got. I don't know how we're going to get a better view here, I'm afraid. It is a tough one here. It's very, very dense. There's lots of tambochi trees. Hang on, she might be moving. Let's just see. You guys can see better up top. There she is moving. Chris, can we hold on just for a little bit? Because she's just starting to move. Maybe she's going to go into a better spot. She's on the go. She's going around the edge of the drainage now. She's carrying the cub. I think she looked like she had the cub in her mouth. Okay, right. Now we're going to try and reverse all of here. Let's see that. Wait. I think she's going to go. Fingers crossed, everybody. I had not seen this cub yet, and I'm so excited. That was the worst reversing I've ever seen in my life. And she's just. But I think that's better. Well done, Tayla. You remember how to drop. Shamama, you said you can't wait for me to see the cub. Neither can I. I'm so excited. This is where I wanted to go initially. Oh, sorry. I believe there is the odd picture break up here and there. It is probably because we're down in a drainage line, so sorry about that. Come on, girl, don't sit down there. I can't see her now, but she was walking in this direction. But she's stopped now, typical. Little leopard, come out and play. We want to see you. I don't know where Thandi's gone now. We'll reverse again. Let's go back and forth, back and forth. It's hot now. It's exceptionally hot. I'm able to tell you what the temperature is, but it feels like it's 27, 28 degrees already with the humidity. So she's not going to want to sit out in the sun. She is going to try and find some 25 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit. It's okay, so not too far off. Yeah, I don't know what's down here. Okay, everybody, I don't know if we're going to get a view of her, just because the vegetation is exceptionally thick through here and the grass is quite tall. If there wasn't so much grass, we'd have a nice gap through. But that's just one of those things. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool, though, to be chasing after them, finding Hosanna, finding Thandi. I will wait until I see the cub, even if it's just an ear or an eye. I'll be super excited for that. But I hope that you have enjoyed this leopard, I don't even know, extravaganza, just as much as we have. But hopefully it'll all happen again for the third time this afternoon on the Sunset Safari. So we'll see you all soon.